Okay, I think for the most part, a lot of people have written Brian McKnight off because of how he treated his children up until his son's Niko's death. And I was just going back looking at his Instagram and looking at how he gloats over his new family, in particular his new wife, like she's the best thing on earth. And child, it had me wondering if this lady don't work the spell on Brian McKnight. You can look at his eyes and clearly tell it's something off about him. He is not like he was in the past.
One of the greatest.
Child, look at some of these videos and let me know what you all think. Is Brian McKnight, has he been worked?
Day 9.
And then we're gonna look at his brother's response. His response to his son passing and what Niko's mother had to say about the whole situation.
14. Now, I'm not here to throw any shade on anyone or to live in the past in any way. I've addressed all of that. Fatherhood Fridays is about how when you do things the right way, with God on your side, with the person he made for you, the happiness and joy you feel will be greater than anything you could have ever imagined. My wife Leilani and I have been together over a decade and married for almost 7 years. Naturally, I became Julia and Jack's father with the blessing of their biological father, and we became a family. What is a part of her is a part of me also. I have my own personal father-daughter and father-son relationships with them, and as their father, I have the privilege of loving them, molding them, guiding them, and nurturing them alongside their mom, and bringing them to adulthood, frankly, has been one of the greatest pleasures of my life.
So all day, I said to myself I wasn't going to post about this. And as the day wore on, I realized that how could I not post about this? This morning, I found out that my nephew, Niko McKnight, passed away. He'd been bravely battling cancer for the last 2 years or so. And I have a lot of feelings right now. I'm not going off a script or anything like that. I'm just going to be raw with how I'm feeling. Niko was one of those amazing kids who was quirky and curious and ridiculously talented. Amazing singer, an amazing guitar player, had a great eye, was a photographer. And just one of those kids that, at least in my estimation, was somebody you always wanted to be around. And so it really sucks that he's no longer with us. And I will also say, probably one of the reasons why I wasn't going to post about it is I post a lot of things, but I don't post a lot of really, really serious subject things, or certainly family things. And I wanted to post this about Niko, about his legacy, about how amazing he is, and not about what some of you may have heard about, you know, the family drama that has existed for quite some time in our family. I'm not here to discuss that or to talk about how that happened or why it happened. This is not the time or the place, but what I will say is, in any situation, there's always at least 3 sides to a story. There's my side, your side, and the truth. And the truth a lot of times is somewhere in between. So here's the thing. I don't know exactly what was going on there. I know what I've seen, I know what I've heard from all parties involved, and I try not to judge. I just try to be as loving to each person as I can be, because apparently there's so much hurt going on, or was so much hurt going on, that a lot of things didn't get resolved. And again, I want to go back to Niko. I know that kid had a lot inside, a lot eating at him for a long, long, long time. That may have contributed to what happened with him. What I do know is he's out of pain now. And so I can rejoice in the fact that he no longer has to go through the chemo and the radiation and everything else. But I just want to uplift that young man and say we will see him again one day. I love you, Niko. Uncle Claude.
As instead, big thanks to Claude McKnight's tasteless and self-aggrandizing announcement on TikTok that frankly was not his to make. In my opinion, he inserted himself and used Niko's death as an opportunity instead of letting him pass with respect and dignity. It has instead turned into a circus, a mockery of a life now lost, making this tragedy into a reality show type drama. While that was unfolding, my family and I flew home to Maui and had a private memorial remembering him and all the good times. The last time he and I spoke, we offered him all the help we could provide. We had the number one.
I did receive out of the blue a text from him about a year ago when our son Niko was, going through his healing, his healing process. So I did get a very, very, very negative text from him during that process. And I'm glad you asked that, because then I can address, he made a comment where he hasn't contacted our son because I left a very, he didn't say harsh, very aggressive voicemail. And in a way, I will say that that is true, because once the text was received, I did make it very, very, very clear that this type of negativity is not what's going to be allowed in this space. And if this type of negativity is what you're bringing, do not bring it here. If you would like to be helpful, if you would like to be a part of this, no problem. Now you know how to reach me. But this is what we're not going to do. So I guess it was harsh.
Well, and is that the incident that we read about on social media and in entertainment blogs, where I think that he made mention that you basically said stay away?
Yeah, he said his words were that I told him to stay away. What he was told was not to bring that bleep into this situation. The moment that he said that they were born out of evil, they were born out of sin, the moment that he said they're the way they are because their mother raised them, absolutely. And I thank God. So at that point, he essentially just handed full everything to me, which I had. So yeah, if I'm protecting my son and my daughter-in-law, you will not do this in this space. And yeah, he was told that. Now you're more than welcome to be a part of this in a positive way. But once the text was sent, it was, oh no, thank you. No. But he is still welcome. Just you have to come in the correct way.
But I want to bring the bleepity bleep bleep bleep. I want to be welcome and bring the bleepity bleep bleep bleep.
No.
And you're not allowing that.
You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Whoever you are.
One oncologist on deck for him and a team of specialists on standby with private care in our home. He and his mother declined. The door of communication was open and remained open until his death. To the self-proclaimed mama bear.
Now, Julie had every right to respond to some of the stuff he was saying in his video, calling her the self-proclaimed mama bear. Julie had every right to protect her son.
May God have mercy on your soul for not allowing him to accept that help and not allowing him to use that line of communication. There is great comfort in knowing God knows the truth and the totality of the whole story. I am truly thankful for the immense peace God has given me, and I've left everything in his hands. I have a clear conscience. The only judgment that matters is God's. My wife, our children, and I are eternally thankful to Almighty God that the suffering has come to an end, and grateful for all of your condolences. Thanks to those of you who have known the truth from the beginning and haven't let untruths, half-truths, or slander prejudice your opinion.
I mean, I feel like she was just protecting her son from the fake love that he would have received if he wouldn't have went and stayed with Brian McKnight and his new family. He clearly cares more about his new family than he did for his his older children, his past life, whatever. So do you all think that Julie McKnight was wrong for protecting her son? Or is Brian McKnight right for moving on with his life and whatever? Leave a comment. Let me know what you all think.